Hi there. For this moment, I want to talk about the power that is within you, the individual, who you are. Don't let somebody say that you have no power, and don't you think you have no power. We all are born with this beautiful gift of the ability to connect to all that is, only it's been somehow stripped away from us for a long time. And then we feel that we are not worthy, we feel saddened, we feel disconnected, disjointed, and all the frustration of this earthly life that we live plays heavy on our hearts, our souls, our mind, and we wonder why. With that type of occurrence constantly happening, that's when depression, insecurities, stress, and illness will settle in. So what do we do? How can we build that power back up within each person? And each person has that right to do that. That right is your birthright. To heal the body with the power that you were born with. Only because I had to push beyond the regular doors, because I can't take pharmaceutical drugs, only because I had to do something different did I come into that power. But I was blessed with the fact that many things happened to me throughout my life, and in that time frame, when I was being attacked by something or someone, I had the power. I had that gift. I had something that came up from underneath me and made it go away. When we become ill and we rely on the doctors and medication to fix everything, it takes such a long time because prescription drugs, not only do they help repair some of the things, and yes, they're very valuable, and yes, Western medicine is very valuable. If you've been in an accident, you need to have your body stitched up and things repaired. But there's more to life. There's more to do, and to do that, you have to find your strength. I don't care what belief you're in or non-belief. I don't care if you believe in a God source or you don't believe in a God source. You still have the ability to connect to that strong power that is within you. Every one of us has that ability. How do we get there? How do we get there? I hear that question over and over and over again, not only in my own mind, but I hear people asking me. Excuse me. We have to look back at our life and see where we can find that glimmer of hope, that strength that lies within us, and start building a platform where we can rest our body, our soul, and our mind and our beliefs on. If we just take the platform of somebody else that we admire, or a particular guru or faith or book you read or whatever, and it's somebody else's platform, it's not a strong structure for you. No. I've studied way back and paid some good money for some of these studies, courses to heal myself, to become me, and all of these things. What happened? After a while, they just sort of dissipated. Did I stop working the program? Did I get kind of disgusted with it? Searched out for another program to help me to become who I am, what I am. Followed that for a while, but it's not satisfying. What really became satisfying for me is to build my own belief system, to build my own steps, and have a very, very, very solid platform to stand on. That belief is within me. just as you can build a belief that's going to be within you. You start with small steps, and then build a structure that'll hold you for the rest of your life. Use your mind to connect. In particular, as a metaphysical person and a spiritual person, I've done a lot of studying, things like that, and I know the pineal gland sits in the middle of our brain, which is the middle of the sanctuary of the soul, with the temple of the soul. I use that as an antenna to have my mind send out information and gather information. Now, this may sound weird to people, but you know what? If you haven't tried it, you don't think about it, and don't do some research on it, it's not going to get you anywhere. The mind. Talk about the mind. Very elusive thing, isn't it? You can't x-ray it. It can't be detected. It's not attached to any organ, yet we think of it as being in our brain, because that's where we apparently think our thoughts come from. And that's where we hear ourselves talking inside of our heads, thinking. So this elusive thing that we all talk about, the mind, is in us. And I believe the mind is the center of all that is. It's the center of the connection to all that is. And what is all that is? Think about it. All that is what has been created in our galaxy, our universe, and beyond. But let's just keep it in our galaxy. In our galaxy, we have a central sun, and everything goes around that central sun. And I space travel in my mind. And I've been taken out into this night sky to see the earth the size of a little blue ball beneath my feet. Okay? Crazy? A lunatic? I don't think so. We've all had dreams where perhaps we fly. That's telling us we came from some place where we did fly. Our spirit self flies. Our soul self flies. When we shed this body, what's left? What's left is our mind that escapes with all our knowledge and our soul. If you can't believe that, then believe that the sun comes up in the morning and sets at night. It's just finding a belief pattern that will work for you as an individual. Now let's get back to the basis. First of all, do you feel you're worthy? Do you feel you have the strength to believe in yourself? And how are you answering these questions? That's another thing. Do you already have a strong belief system, but you just haven't capitalized on it? Do you follow teachings that came from someone else? And if it did, and they disappoint you, what happens to those teachings? What happens to that belief? That belief comes crumbling down, crashes. You're despondent, you're depressed, you're back to, I'm not worthy, I'm this, I'm that. You've given yourself all kinds of labels. Now let's cast all of those away, and let's start with the you that's right inside of you. I have a message on my website, and I love using it. You. Take good care of yourself, for there is no other like you. Be love. Be peace. Most of all, be you. Think about that. If you are true to yourself, you will be true to others. If you believe in yourself, you can believe in life and a good life with others and relationships and so on. So believe in yourself. Build that platform. Now let's say your circle. It's not a good circle, but I'm trying. This is your circle, and within that circle is your power. Okay, let's put it right in your head. And in that circle, if you believe strongly, it just grows and grows and gets stronger. But if you have doubt, and here's a crack of doubt at the top, what happens? We're not connected to the circle, and doubt comes filtering in. The next thing we know, we do not believe in that, we do not have that power, and we've lost it. I've had the wonderful fortune to walk in many different paths and to study many different ways of believing. And what I've done is I've taken the cream of all the tops. I'm old enough to remember that milk came with cream on top, and if you left it outside in the winter, the cream would bubble up, and it would be nothing fancier than licking that off the top of the bottle. Perhaps a lot of people are a lot younger than me and didn't have that opportunity. But the cream rises, you've heard that statement, the cream rises to the top. Well, that's because of milk, but then we've used that in society, that the creme de la creme rises to the top. Okay, so why don't you let the cream that's inside of you rise up into your brain, into your mind, and become number one, become the top of all that is, and be all that is. Believe in all that you are. Believe in some sort of a connection between you and a divine source. We come from something, and we're going to return to something after this life. I believe in reincarnation. Many people don't. So they have to take this part out of the equation. But then if this is the only life you have, then what are you doing about it? How are you treating it? And where are you going with it? And what structure are you building? Is your house, like they say, on sand or quicksand and it's going to come tumbling down? Is your house like a house of cards where a good wind will scatter it everywhere? This body is your house. This mind and brain is the temple where your soul incarnate into, in my belief. And that temple is where your power is to heal. Now, trust me, I've done this. I have done this several times. Sometimes I did it without knowing that I did it. But when I think about it, I had an opportunity way back when I was just married, and I had excruciating pain in the abdomen, and found out that the ovaries, one was the size of a grapefruit, one was the size of an orange. And my doctor told me that if he would give me a month and check me again, and if nothing has improved, we're going to have to remove them. Well, I certainly didn't want that, because I apparently wanted children. So I worked on, automatically I just went and held my hands down over my where the ovaries are, and I would think, this can't happen, you have to be normal, you have to go away, shrink, whatever. I didn't say heal, and I didn't ask a certain deity to come and heal me or anything like that. I just focused on shrinking those things. I went to the doctor and had my examination a month later, and all I could hear was, wow, wow. Oh, and I'm thinking, oh my God, something is really, really wrong. And he said, well, get dressed, we'll talk about it. And I'm going, woo. I was only 19 years old. I was married young. And I was like, wow, scared out of my mind. He said, well, I don't know what happened, but they're back to normal. And I did have 3 children. So, and I never thought of that as healing myself. Not until back in 2011 I discovered that I had osteoarthritis in my knee, and it was painful, and so on and so forth. And 2000, I think it was 2012, they decided that I was getting worse and I needed to see a specialist and think about a knee replacement. In 2013, I saw a specialist. She couldn't do anything because she was supposed to be doing the scope, but she says it's bone on bone. Can't get the scope in, so I can't do anything. You definitely need a knee replacement, so I have to send you to another specialist. That took about 3 months before I got there. I got there in about October, November of 2013. And she says, how are you feeling? And I says, and oh, by the way, as soon as I found out I needed knee replacement from that doctor and saw the bone on bone, I was scared out of my mind again. And I said, no, that can't happen. And then I started thinking, I had a pity party for about 2 weeks, like crying and thinking, wow, what am I going to do if I can't take drugs? And they pump you full of all these drugs, which make me so ill that they probably would kill me. So what can I do? So anyway, I got over my pity party and I said, let's go back, stand on your platform, bring in some energy, and think. So I thought, if you break a bone, the bone heals. Even if you have pieces missing, they will fill in, right? Eventually they fill in. So if a cartilage is gone, or maybe there's a sliver at the one corner, there was a piece showing. If there's a sliver of cartilage, I can grow it across my knee a little bit at a time. 3 months later, by the time I got to the other specialist, there was not bone on bone anymore. There was a 1/4 inch, like about this much gap between my two bones. There was a gap. She said, well, you definitely don't need knee replacement right now. And I says, and I looked at the x-ray and I said, and my husband looked at it and he says, oh, wow. So anyway, I said, no, because I'm not walking with a cane. I have no more pain. I'm walking fairly normal. I still have to exercise and get stronger because I was getting weaker. I haven't used a cane. My husband's used a cane a couple of times to walk when he's put his back out or something. But I haven't used that cane since then. And this is almost a full year from that time that happened. So that brought in a very strong belief system of the ability to connect with the divine power that is within each individual, myself and for you, to connect to some divine power that created all of creation. And I don't care what you want to call it. There is a divine power from whence we came. And there is something we will return to when we pass from this physical body. But in the meantime, we've been told things are not possible, that can't be done, go on and on and on. Let's not take in all the negatives. Let's just get rid of them and just say, you were born with a beautiful gift, a soul, the power, the strength to be who you are. So don't let anybody take that away from yourself. There's lots more to read on the orb. You'll find the link afterwards. And I'll let that rest for now. Talk to you soon. Namaste. Have a great day.